On behalf of Jeep and Daimler Chrysler, thank you for purchasing a Jeep Wrangler. Wrangler's a unique vehicle with exceptional capabilities, and this video will show you how to use some of its features. This program's not intended to be a substitute for your owner's manual and the various warning labels. We'll cover some of the items that may be included with the particular vehicle you've purchased or the option level you've selected. But for complete information, read your owner's manual and all sun visor warning labels. For easy reference, the video is divided into sections that are identified by colored symbols appearing on both the back cover of the video case and in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Now, just sit back and enjoy the presentation. We'll begin with the top. When it comes to the top, Wrangler's offered in 4 different versions: a soft top with half doors, a soft top with full doors and roll-up windows, a hard top with full doors and roll-up windows, and the popular dual top, which has full doors and both soft and hard tops. In this section, we'll go through the removal and installation process in the order that a dual top owner might use. We're going to remove the hard top, raise the soft top, lower and remove the soft top, then reinstall the hard top, all using techniques perfected by Jeep engineers. If your vehicle has only one top, you can scan through the areas that don't apply. Before we begin, we have an important message for dual top owners. Your vehicle arrived from the factory with the soft top lowered and the hard top in place. This is done for your convenience to simplify shipping and minimize the number of loose parts. One of the first things you need to do with the dual top model is remove one of the tops using the procedures from your owner's manual that we're going to demonstrate. Avoid driving your Wrangler with both tops installed. The soft top fabric may wear in areas where it touches the hard top. The soft top warranty may be voided if both tops are left installed. If you have a dual top and you're getting ready to remove the hard top for the first time, begin by identifying all the parts that you'll need to assemble the soft top. Your dual top Wrangler comes with 2 boxes. One contains the right and left door frames, 4 attachment knobs, and an L-wrench. The other box contains 1 rear and 2 side quarter windows for use with the soft top. Due to the size and weight of the hard top, it weighs about 140 pounds. This is not a one-person operation. Get someone to help you. Begin by unclipping the sun visors and moving them to the sides. Then, unlatch the hard top from the windshield header. The top is held to the body by 6 nuts and Torx head bolts, 3 on each side of the vehicle. Use the short end of the provided L-wrench to remove them. When you remove the front bolts that are located directly behind the door opening, use your other hand to hold the nut on the underside. If you're not careful, the nut can fall into the seatbelt retractor or other hard-to-reach areas. When all the bolts are out, open the tailgate all the way and lift the rear window glass. If this is the first time you've removed the hard top on the dual top vehicle, you'll find the wiring harness has an extension to reach around the soft top. Disconnect the extension from the wiring harness by pressing the tab at the bottom of the connector. Then disconnect the rear washer hose and install the tethered cap. Now, disconnect the extension from the hard top by pressing the tab at the bottom of the connector. Then disconnect the rear washer hose. Now, discard the extension. You won't need it, because you should never have both tops installed from this point on. Once you've disconnected the wiring harness from the top, fold the end of the harness back and secure it using the attached Velcro strap. This will prevent the connector from rattling. Finally, open both doors, and with the help of another person, lift the hard top off the vehicle. Move carefully so that you don't break the rear window glass, and make sure that you have an area ready to set it down in. Check directly behind the door openings on each side to see if the rubber gasket is still in place. The gasket is important for water sealing. One or both gaskets may still be attached to the hardtop. If so, remove the gasket and replace it on the vehicle if you plan to raise the soft top. Or if you plan to use the vehicle with the top down and the door rails off, you can store the gaskets in the glove box or center console. When it's not on the vehicle, the hardtop should be stored in its normal horizontal position, as seen here. Never store the hardtop upside down or vertically. Now let's see how you raise the soft top. Several of the following steps will only be necessary for dual top owners who are raising the soft top for the first time. They won't be necessary at any other time. But before we start, let's point out a few areas of the top and tell you their names so that you know what we're talking about when we refer to them. The metal framework of the top is made up of bows. The ones that start on the sport bar and extend over the doors are called the side bows. The two bow runs horizontally across the center of the top. During normal use, the two bow is wrapped inside a Velcro fabric flap. The three bow starts at the sport bar and extends to the highest rear corner of the top. The front edge of the top, where it meets the windshield, is called the header. So moving from front to rear, you have the header, the side bows, the two bow, and the three bow. There are some other terms you'll learn as we go along. You begin the process of installing the soft top by installing the door frames. With the rubber gasket in place, insert the rear pin into the hole just behind the door opening. Starting at the front end, clip the frame to the sidebar and then slide the door frame forward so the front pin moves into the hole. Then screw the door frame attachment knobs into place. If this is your first time on a dual top vehicle, you'll need to unsnap and remove the black boot cover. Once it's off, discard the cover. It's intended only for shipping purposes. Unroll the soft top until you can see the plastic header with latches. Remove the black tailgate bar that's tucked inside and set it aside for the moment. Now, lift the fabric up and away from the header. Pull all the fabric toward the rear of the vehicle and wrap it around the header. You'll want to pull the fabric around the ends of the header so that the fabric has a tight, smooth appearance. Undo the Velcro strap holding the wiring harness to the bow assembly. Working from the rear, with the tailgate open, carefully raise the top's header. When the two bow rises, lift it upward and over the sport bar. And do the same with the three bow. Move to the side and guide the metal bows over the sport bar if necessary. Pull the side bow forward and down until the top's header reaches the windshield. It should never require much effort to make the top reach the windshield. If the top ever stops prematurely and won't move forward, don't force it. You could damage the top. Instead, look underneath at the check straps that run along the sides of the top. They can occasionally get tangled around the bows. Untangle the check strap and the top should easily fold forward. Unclip the sun visors and swing them out of the way. Then flip the top latch hooks down from the handles and engage them into the windshield slot. But don't close the latches yet. If you close the latches too soon, the top will become so taut that it'll make many of the remaining steps difficult or even impossible. That's why locking the latches will be the very last step. Next, grasp the drip rail retainers and untuck them from the door frame. But if this is the first time you've raised the soft top on a dual top vehicle, the soft top fabric should cover the header completely from one side to the other. Now this may require that you pull some of the fabric down and around the corners. Repeat this step for the other side too. At the rear, gently pull the sail panels over the three bow so that they hang over the sport bar. If this is your first time on a dual top model, don't tuck the retainers into place yet. Instead, fold the rear seat forward and sit in the cargo area facing rearward. Look up and you'll see a strip of fabric with 6 snaps. These will snap into place on the three bow. Reach behind the three bow, grasp the fabric, and pull it up and around the three bow. And snap it into place at the snaps on the top surface of the three bow. Now you'll need to perform a similar step on the two bow. Secure the fabric flap around the bow using the Velcro. This will reduce flapping by the top when you drive. Now you can tuck the smaller sail panel retainers into place. They slide in from the rear, moving forward. Notice that the larger clear plastic reinforcement doesn't go under the body side retainer, but stays between the body and the fabric. This step may be difficult the first time you do it until the top stretches. You may wish to press down gently on the top of the 3-bow in order to create a little slack that will make it easier to slide the retainer into place. Now it's time for the quarter windows. Stick the top rear corner into place using the Velcro. This will hold the window in place while you start the zipper at the forward edge of the window. Once you get the zipper started, move it only about an inch. Then stop, remove the Velcro, and tuck the door frame retainer into the door frame. Once the door frame retainer is in place, zip the windows all the way closed. Tuck the window's bottom retainers into place, starting at the rear of the vehicle and working forward. Now, fold the Velcro covering into place. If this is your first time on a dual-top vehicle, locate the black retainer bar that you set aside earlier. Remove and discard the protective end caps. Lay the rear window on a clean, dry surface with the inside surface facing up and the bottom toward you. Slide the retainer bar over the receiver at the bottom inside with the bulky seal facing away from you. The Velcro strip on the retainer bar should line up with the Velcro flap on the inside of the rear window. Attach them together. Set the rear window inside the top. Partially untuck the driver's side sail panel retainer. Now zip the rear window into place. Grasp the window at the zipper and tug it downward to help you get it started. Raise both zippers a few inches. Then leave the first zipper at the left side while you zip the window closed. Leave several inches unzipped at both ends. Tuck the ends of the retainer bar into the clips at each side of the tailgate opening. Then tuck the window's plastic retainers into place under the body side retainer on both sides of the window. Finish zipping the window closed and retuck the sail panel retainer on the driver's side. Over the doors, tuck the drip rail retainers into the rail slot. It's easier if you start with the front retainer. Now you can close the header latches and clip the sun visors back into their normal positions. If you have a soft top model with half doors and the half door windows were removed, replace them by locating the front rod first, then the remaining rods, and pushing the window straight down into position. To help prevent leaks, make sure that the seals at the front and rear edges of the half door are outside the metal portion of the door. Now that we've raised the soft top, let's lower it. You'll see that there are a few important things to keep in mind. If you have a soft top model with half doors, you may want to begin by removing the half door windows. Simply open the door and lift the window out. Store the side curtains outside of the vehicle, never inside. At the door openings, grasp the drip rail retainers and untuck them from the door frame slot. Unclip the sun visors and move them out of the way. And release the header latches. Leave the hooks in the windshield slots for the time being. Open the tailgate and partially unzip the rear window on each side. Now, pull out the rear window retainers on each side of the tailgate and pull the rear window's retainer bar straight back from the body side clips. You now have a choice to make with the rear window. You can either completely remove it or you can roll it up and store it inside the top. If you want to roll the window up, first make sure it's clean. Then unzip the zippers to the upper corners past the straps. Now roll up the window from the bottom to top and secure it by snapping it into the straps at the top of the opening. While this method is convenient, you should recognize that over time it will scratch the window. To minimize scratching, it's better to simply unzip the window completely, starting at the passenger side, and carefully store it separately. Always unzip the windows completely. Never yank on them or you'll damage the zippers. We'll talk more about storing your windows in a few moments. While we're talking about the rear window, never drive your Wrangler with the rear window open and all the other doors and windows closed. Dangerous exhaust gases can enter the vehicle. Continue removing the top by moving to the side windows. Release the Velcro flap and start to unzip them from the rear. Untuck the bottom retainer. Finish unzipping the window and remove it. Untuck the sail panels from the body side at the rear corners of the vehicle. Release the hooks holding the top to the windshield. Pushing up on the release lever will make this easier. With the tailgate open, fold the sail panels inboard so that they rest on the roof of the vehicle. Then, grasp the side bow behind the header and lift the top back. Now, if you have a dual-top vehicle, make sure that the hardtop wiring harness is tucked under the soft top and lying on the wheel well. Make sure the sides of the top fold inward as the top's folded. And also that the check straps are clear of the vehicle. Tuck the top between the 2-bow and 3-bow as it folds. Then tuck the top between the 2-bow and the header. As you bring the header down, check the drip rail retainers. If you're not careful, they can rub on the top and cause wear. The drip rail retainers should fold at the point in between them so that they form a V shape, and their ends are not pressing against the fabric. Finally, tuck the check straps in so that they don't hang outside the vehicle and flap in the wind. Now you're done lowering the top, but you may want to remove the door frames as well. Simply unscrew and remove the attachment knobs. Then place one hand on the top and one at the rearward corner and pull the rear end towards you. Store the door rails outside the vehicle, never inside. If the rubber gasket located just behind the door opening comes off, store it until you put the top up or install a hard top. Now that you have the soft top down, what should you do with the windows? Well, you have several options. You could roll them up, but as we mentioned previously about the rear window, they'll eventually get scratched. Or store them in your home or garage. To help protect the windows from scratches, you might want to invest in a specially designed window storage bag from Mopar Accessories with a soft lining in each of its 5 compartments. Store the bag outside the vehicle, never inside. We'll tell you a bit more about Mopar Accessories at the end of this presentation. If you're going to install the hardtop, you must not only lower the soft top, you need to remove it from the vehicle. Use the long end of the provided L-wrench to remove the 2 screws that hold the bows to the pivot bracket mounted on the sport bar. Store the screws in a safe place. Remove the bow assembly from the bracket by carefully tapping the bow with a rubber mallet. Tap the rear bow downward to free it. Tap the forward bow towards the rear of the vehicle to free it. You can now remove the soft top. Store it in a clean, dry location. Unzip the zipper on the sport bar cover to expose the pivot bracket. Use the long end of the L-wrench to remove the screws holding the bracket in place. Remove the bracket. Then recover and rezip the sport bar cover. Store the brackets and screws in a safe place. To install the hardtop, you simply reverse the procedure for removing it. However, before you put the hardtop back on, take a few moments to inspect the seals for cleanliness and damage, such as the foam seal where the hardtop header meets the windshield. Make sure that the rubber gaskets are in place behind the door openings to prevent leaks. When you install the hardtop, lower it straight down into position on the vehicle. Never set the top down and then push it forward, or you can damage the seals. Check the foam seal at the sides where the top meets the windshield. Also, make sure that the liftgate seal is in place. If it's come loose, push it back into position. For certain off-road situations, you might want to remove the sidebars and lower the windshield. Because you lose protection when these structural elements are removed, Jeep engineers caution that you drive no faster than 10 miles per hour, preferably in 4-wheel drive low range. You should also wear eye protection, and remember, use your seat belts. To remove the sidebars, Remove the two Torx head screws that hold each sidebar to the windshield frame. Unzip the padding to expose the screws where the sidebar meets the sport bar, and you'll see several screws. Do not move the Torx screw that goes into the sidebar. This screw sets the angle of the windshield, and if you move it, you create the potential for leaks. The two Torx screws that you do want to remove are the ones that hold the mounting bracket to the sport bar. They're found on either side of the sidebar. After you remove the screws, remove the sidebar from the vehicle and replace the bolts for safekeeping. Secure the sidebars to the floor of the vehicle using 4 of the 5 cinch straps. Attach them to the footman loops in the floor behind the folded rear seat. Pull the wiper blade away from the windshield to the locked position. Use a small flat-edge tool, such as a screwdriver, to release the retaining clip on each windshield wiper. Lift the wipers off and store them in the center console, or secure them inside the vehicle. Remove the round-headed Torx screw on each side of the base of the windshield. Lower the windshield gently until it reaches the rubber bumpers on the hood. Then, use the remaining cinch strap to secure the windshield in place. Pass the strap through the footman loops on the hood and in the center of the windshield frame. Putting the windshield back up again is basically the reverse of this procedure. Be sure to check the foam seal near the hinge. If it was lost or damaged, it must be replaced in order to avoid water leakage. Jeep engineers have designed Wrangler's optional side steps to be removed quickly and easily. We recommend that you remove the side steps before doing any severe off-road driving, since they can be damaged or broken when hit by large rocks, trees, or other obstacles. Now, to remove the side steps, remove the 2 bolts that attach each leg of the step to your Wrangler. Then lift the side step up and out of the front and rear hook slots in the frame of the vehicle. To reinstall the side steps, simply install the hooks of the attachment arm into the slots in the vehicle's frame. Then, insert and tighten the bolts. The front passenger seat and the driver's seat on some vehicles includes a feature designed to make it easier for rear seat occupants to enter and exit the vehicle. You simply grab the loop on the outboard edge of the seat back and give it a good tug. The seat back folds down and the seat moves forward. To restore it, push the seat back up, then pull up on the lever at the front of the seat, and you can move the seat back to the desired position. Now, you can also combine these steps by keeping the seat folded forward with one hand on the seat back and using the other to move the seat to the desired position. Wrangler's rear seat can be folded or even removed to maximize cargo area. Start by pulling the seat belts through the cushions into the cargo area. At the driver's side, lift the seat back release lever and fold the seat back forward. Then slowly flip the entire seat forward into a vertical position. If the seat doesn't want to release, apply downward pressure on the seat while lifting up on the seat release. Use caution if the soft top is lowered when you fold the seat up or down. If it catches on the top, the exposed metal seat structure can rip the top's fabric. If you're going to leave the seat in the vehicle, secure it in the up position by sliding the provided strap around the sport bar and hooking the strap end onto the seat back release lever. Or if you're going to take the seat out, remove the clip from the seat pivot. Then slide the seat to remove the pivots from their brackets. You can now remove the seat. The functions concentrated in your Wrangler's 2 control stalks have been carefully designed to put important features within easy reach. They're at fingertip length on either side of the steering wheel column, and all can be conveniently operated. The multifunction lever or stalk on the left controls the turn signals, headlights, fog lights if equipped, and panel brightness. An up or down touch activates the turn signal indicators. If you leave the turn signal on and drive for more than a mile, you'll hear a chime sound to alert you. To activate your headlights, rotate the knob at the end of the left stalk forward. The headlight switch has 3 positions: off, park, and headlights. To operate your headlight high beams, just pull the stalk toward you. Even when your headlights are not on, you can flash the high beams to signal other drivers by pulling the stalk toward the wheel and then releasing it. You'll find the instrument panel dimmer control on the inner ring of the stalk. If you drive with lights on during daylight hours, you can use this parade mode feature to bring panel lights up to their full brightness. If the headlights are left on and the driver's door is open, there will be an audible chime and the high beam indicator will flash. If your Wrangler's equipped with fog lights, they can be activated by turning on your parking lights or low beam headlights and pulling outward on the end of the stalk. You'll also see this light in the instrument cluster which tells you your fog lights are operating. The horn is located in the center of the steering wheel. There's no fumbling for buttons, just push anywhere on the perimeter or pad face. You'll find a windshield wiper and washer command switch on the control lever to the right of the steering wheel column. Turn on the wipers by raising the lever. There are 4 positions: off, intermittent, low, and high. To use the windshield washer feature, pull the stalk towards you. Pulling down and releasing the right control lever starts the convenient mist wipe for a single wiping action. To keep your wipers in top operating order and avoid possible damage to the wiper assembly, remember to remove any snow and ice buildup that might prevent the blades from returning to the off position. Your hazard flasher switch is located on top of the steering column. To turn the flashers on, depress and release the flasher switch. To turn them off, depress and release the flasher switch again. There's a new feature on the 2001 Wrangler. The odometer will light up on the cluster when the driver's door is open, with or without the key in the ignition. It's become very popular these days to make your own compact discs, either with special stereo equipment or with a computer and CD-ROM writer. Unfortunately, due to format variations and other issues, Daimler-Chrysler cannot guarantee that a homemade CD will play in Wrangler's available CD system. If you ever have problems playing a CD, please double-check that it's a commercially produced disc that was purchased at retail before you return to the dealership for service. Here are several tips to help you maintain the appearance and functionality of your soft top. First, never lower the top or roll the windows in temperatures colder than 40 degrees Fahrenheit, or you could damage them. If the top has been folded for some length of time, or if the temperature is below 72 degrees, the top may appear to have shrunk when you try to raise it. Place the vehicle in a warm area and pull steadily on the top fabric. This will stretch the fabric back to its original size. To minimize the chance of scratches caused by grit, make sure that the windows are clean before removing them or rolling them up. Never wipe them with a dry cloth. Use a moist, soft cloth and wipe from side to side to remove dust. Never use a scraper or de-icing chemicals to remove frost, snow, or ice. Use warm water for quick de-icing. Avoid using hot water or anything stronger than mild soap when washing the top. And never take a Wrangler soft top through an automatic car wash. If your Wrangler's equipped with the optional tinted windows, follow the same maintenance tips we've just described. The soft top zippers are quite durable when properly used and cared for. Always unzip the window completely before removing it. You can clean the zippers with a mild soap solution and a small brush. You can make the zippers easier to use by cleaning and lubricating them with Mopar Zip Zap, which is available from your dealer. Wrangler's well suited to driving off pavement or in severe situations, and many owners use it this way. One side effect is that Wrangler's floor often gets dirty from shoes and boots tracking mud or snow into the vehicle. That's why Jeep engineers have made sure that it's easy to clean. You can remove the carpet for cleaning and hose off the floor if you like. Extreme care should be taken not to spray the steering column and electrical components while hosing off the floor. Be sure that the passenger airbag on-off switch's weatherized cover is in place. you should now have an easier time cleaning the carpets. Shampoo it with a reliable upholstery cleaner using a natural sponge or a soft bristled brush. Vacuum the carpet after it dries. If necessary, you can remove the drain plugs located in the floor pan in the front seat area and in the back seat area. And carefully hose out any mud or dirt. But don't use high pressure. You need to avoid splashing water onto the seats or under the instrument panel. Again, extreme care should be taken not to spray the steering column and electrical components. After the carpet and interior are dry, replace the drain plugs and carpet. Never drive your Wrangler with the carpet removed. It's designed to insulate you and your passengers from the heat of the floor pan. The air filter in most fluids can be checked from above the engine compartment. Service points are marked in yellow for easy recognition. Fluid for the manual transmission, transfer case, and the front and rear axles must be checked from below. Refer to your owner's manual for recommended maintenance schedules, fluid types, and other important information. If you drive your Wrangler off-road, you'll want to use Maintenance Schedule B. Please note that your 2001 Wrangler uses long-life, environmentally friendly engine coolant in keeping with Jeep's Tread Lightly philosophy. Please refer to your owner's manual for more information on the engine coolant. When you refuel your car and the nozzle shuts off, the fuel tank is full. Do not attempt to top off the tank and fill it any further, or you could spill fuel and release emissions into the air. Also, after filling, be sure to tighten the fuel cap until you hear it click. If your check engine warning light appears soon after refueling the car, it could be caused by a loose fuel filler cap. If this happens, turn the engine off and check that the cap is fully tightened. You'll hear several clicks when you turn it far enough. Wrangler's accessory fuse panel is located behind the glove box. To reach it, remove the glove box by slipping the glove box strap off its hook and letting the door roll down off its hinges. At the passenger side of the engine compartment is the power distribution center, which holds additional fuses. A Wrangler with the 4-liter engine and/or a 2.5-liter engine with a manual transmission can tow up to 2,000 pounds when properly equipped. Wranglers with the 2.5-liter engine and an automatic transmission can tow up to 1,000 pounds when properly equipped. If you plan to tow a trailer, make sure you use only low-profile or fold-down types with less than 25 square feet of frontal area. Tall trailers are not recommended. Trailer towing requires the installation of a Class 1 hitch. You can see your dealer about having one installed. And don't forget to check the laws about towing wherever you live. Tips for safe loading and towing, as well as additional maintenance, can be found in your owner's manual. Many owners like to tow their Wrangler behind a larger vehicle, such as a motorhome. If you plan to do this, it's important that you follow the correct procedure to prevent damage to the powertrain components. If it's in 4-wheel drive, shift the transfer case into 2-wheel drive high, and make sure that the 4-wheel drive light is out. Once the vehicle is in 2-wheel drive, shift the transmission into reverse and drive 10 feet rearward. Then, stop and drive 10 feet forward. This will ensure that the front axle is disengaged. Shift the transmission into neutral. Turn off the engine and place the ignition key in the unlocked off position. Shift the transfer case from 2-wheel drive high into neutral. If you have a manual transmission, put it into gear. If you have an automatic, put it into park. This precaution will prevent damage to the transmission while the Wrangler's being towed. You can do this while towing because the transfer case will be in neutral. Apply the parking brake. Now attach the Wrangler to the tow vehicle with a tow bar. Make sure to use a tow bar that bolts onto the front bumper or frame and not one that simply clamps on. Once the vehicles are attached, release the Wrangler's parking brake, and you're ready to go. But again, be sure that you've checked the laws before towing your Wrangler. Your Wrangler may be equipped with an anti-lock brake system or ABS. If so, You need to understand how they work and what to expect. When you brake on a surface with good traction, the brakes operate normally. ABS does not activate unless the system detects that one or more wheels are slipping. During an ABS stop, the brakes work differently. When you press firmly, you'll experience a vibrating sensation and clicking sounds as ABS controls the brake pressure. And when your vehicle comes to a complete stop, you may feel the brake pedal drop slightly as the ABS shuts off. To maximize the control ABS can provide, there's only one thing to remember: never pump the brake pedal. Manual pumping of the brakes will diminish their effectiveness and will cause an increase in stopping distance. Just press firmly on the brake pedal and let the system do the work. To ensure that the components of the system are operating safely, ABS performs two self-checks. The first one occurs when you start the engine. When you turn the ignition key, the ABS light will illuminate momentarily, and you may hear a clicking sound. If your foot is on the brake pedal, you also may feel a pulse while this happens. Another ABS self-check occurs when your Wrangler reaches between 6 and 8 miles per hour. This time, the ABS will make a low humming sound. Once again, if you happen to hit the brakes at this time, you may feel the pedal vibrate. If a problem is detected, the ABS warning light will illuminate, indicating that the anti-lock braking system is not functioning properly. If you're traveling off-road and the ABS light comes on, the system could simply have been temporarily defeated. Shut the engine off, then restart it. If the light goes out normally, the system's working properly. But if the ABS light stays on, your vehicle needs service. In the meantime, your brakes will still work as well as vehicles with conventional braking systems. Because ABS works by detecting wheel slippage during braking, you may hear and feel it kick in at unexpected times. For example, if you're braking while going over a set of railroad tracks, or while driving on an uneven surface such as a bumpy or gravel road, you may hear the ABS working. It can also activate during severe braking. It's normal for ABS to work in these situations. They show that ABS is doing what it was designed to do. Finally, remember that ABS will not necessarily reduce braking distance, but it will help you maintain steering control while you're braking. Wranglers with manual transmissions have a non-synchronized reverse gear. Therefore, there are two things you should keep in mind. First, whenever you shift from neutral into reverse, such as when you back out of a parking space, for example, you can prevent gear clash by letting the gears spin down. Simply depress the clutch pedal and wait for about 3 seconds before you shift into reverse. Also, it may occasionally seem that you can't shift the vehicle into reverse. Don't worry, the transmission is not broken. It's just that the gear teeth, instead of meshing like they're supposed to, are lining up with each other. If this ever happens to you, do this. Depress the clutch pedal, place the transmission into neutral, and release the clutch. Depress the clutch pedal again, and wait 3 seconds for the gears to spin down before you again try shifting into reverse. If this still doesn't work, repeat the procedure. Wranglers with manual transmissions are equipped with a clutch interlock, which means that the engine will not start unless the clutch pedal is depressed to the floor. For some challenging off-road situations, you may want to temporarily defeat this feature. Refer to the starting and operating section of your owner's manual for the procedure. Now we'd like to show you how your Command Track four-wheel drive system operates and instruct you in some basic driving techniques. Some of these techniques also appear in greater detail in your owner's manual. Command Track allows you to choose between two-wheel drive for normal operation and part-time four-wheel drive for better traction on slippery surfaces such as snow, ice, or mud. Command Track allows you to shift on the fly into four-wheel drive high while traveling at any legal speed. But if you want to shift into or out of four-wheel drive low, which provides maximum traction in severe conditions, you'll need to virtually stop the vehicle. When you need greater pulling power at low speeds, improved handling and control in extremely rugged terrain, and whenever extra traction is required off pavement, you can shift into four-wheel drive low range. 4 Low provides maximum four-wheel drive traction. To shift into 4 Low, slow the vehicle down to 2 or 3 miles per hour. Shift the transmission into neutral. While you're still rolling, quickly pull the transfer case lever into 4 Low without pausing in neutral. When you're done, return the transmission to any gear you wish. To shift out of 4 Low, slow down again to 2 or 3 miles per hour and simply reverse the process. The gear noise you hear when you shift into or out of 4 Low is normal. Make the 4 Low shift a quick one. If you shift slowly, you won't like the sound it produces. Remember, 4 Low should only be used at low speeds and in slippery or very rugged terrain. There are 2 important things to keep in mind when driving off pavement. First, tread lightly on the environment and respect local land use restrictions. And second, always remember to buckle up and drive sensibly, because even when you're out seeking fun and adventure, safety must always come first. Utility vehicles have a higher ground clearance than most passenger cars, so that they're able to perform in a variety of off-pavement conditions. However, they're not designed for cornering at the same speeds. So whenever possible, avoid sharp turns and abrupt maneuvers. Now, let's go over a few four-wheel driving techniques. Here are the basic procedures if you get stuck in sand or snow. Don't race the motor and spin the wheels, or you'll only dig a deeper hole. Gently rock your Wrangler back and forth and turn the steering wheel left and right until you gain traction. You can also increase the traction by placing floor mats in front of your tires. In sand, use any available water and wet in front of the wheels to create a firmer base. Be extremely cautious of driving in deep water. The first thing to do is check the depth. Avoid water that's higher than the bottom of the wheel hubs. If you're able to move on, maintain a slow, steady speed. Make sure you take extra precautions even after driving in rain, because wet brakes often behave differently. And make sure you ride your brakes lightly to help them dry out quickly. When you need to tackle a hill, make sure you follow these instructions. Always try to go straight up or down. Never drive a hill at an angle, or the vehicle may become unstable. At all times, keep your wheels on the ground. This might seem obvious, but we sometimes see exaggerations of what vehicles can do. And when you start out, use sufficient climbing power at the bottom, and then as you approach the top, ease up. Whenever you get behind the wheel, always be aware of your vehicle's center of gravity and never drive at an angle along hillsides. If you must drive along a sloping shoulder or shallow ditch, make only gradual steering adjustments. Whatever you do, don't make sudden steering corrections. The more gentle and gradual you work onto the road, the more successful you'll be. When you encounter a log or other obstacle, make sure you investigate the situation before you make your move. It may be easiest to cross over the obstacle at a slight angle, one wheel at a time. And always be aware of your vehicle's ground clearance. You obviously can't scale a 12-inch log if your clearance is only 10 inches. After driving off-road, you should completely inspect the vehicle's underbody for damage. This includes the tires, body structure, steering, suspension, exhaust system, and fasteners. Remove any brush or vegetation that may have accumulated. If you drive on roads that are dusty or salt-covered, hose off the undercarriage at least once a month. And if you've operated the vehicle for an extended period in mud, sand, or water, have your brake drums and linings and the axle joints inspected and cleaned. Jeep vehicles are as tough as they come. There's just so much they can do, so many breathtaking places they can go. That's why Jeep Jamborees were born, events where owners discover all of the off-highway excitement their vehicles have to offer. Jamborees are held at various sites over 3-day weekends from February to October. Under the guidance of experts, Jeep Jamboree participants learn how to traverse terrain they previously thought impassable. and Jeep owners have responded enthusiastically since the very first Jeep Jamboree was held on the Rubicon Trail in California back in 1953. In fact, they're so popular today, jamborees are now held throughout the U.S. and around the world. One of Jeep Jamboree's biggest selling points is the beautiful scenery that surrounds you no matter which event you choose. And Jeep Jamborees are always designed to have minimal impact on the surrounding environment in order to preserve that beauty. Some jamborees include activities such as fishing and hiking. Some involve outdoor camping, while others end up at historic inns. There's always plenty of fun and adventure for the entire family. And don't forget, you're in a league of your own because only Jeep vehicles and their owners participate in Jeep Jamborees. For complete information and a list of this year's Jamboree locations, make sure you receive a current Jeep Jamboree USA guidebook from your dealer or call 1-800-925-JEEP. There's only one thing better than a Jeep Wrangler, and that's one that's complete with genuine Mopar accessories. Mopar accessories are not only designed and tested to meet the highest standards, they're made exclusively for your vehicle, and they're protected by one of the strongest warranties in the industry. Here's just a sample of the great products available from Mopar. Tubular front and rear bumpers or brush and grill guards are an attractive way to dress up your Wrangler and are available in a variety of finishes. A tubular light bar and off-road lights allow you to stay out longer at night, while a winch can pull you or a friend out of a sticky situation. The sunbonnet protects you from the sun while allowing an open-air ride. While the tonneau cover protects the cargo area, the windscreen helps reduce backdrafts and wind noise. And tire covers protect your spare from the elements. All are available in the same fabric colors as the original equipment soft tops. If you enjoy outdoor recreation, Mopar offers carriers for bicycles and skis that mount to a trailer hitch. This powerful sound deck kit includes an 8-inch subwoofer, 2 tweeters, and a 50-watt amplifier in a color-keyed housing, plus 2 mid-range speakers to upgrade the dash-mounted speakers. When combined with the sound bar, you'll enjoy premium sound with the soft top up or down. Plus, Mopar has a wide range of items designed to help you use your Wrangler for towing. See your dealer for more information about the complete line of great Mopar accessories. You can also visit the Mopar website at www.mopar.com. Well, we've covered a lot of ground, but now it's time for you to get out there and find out what real driving's all about. If you should experience any trouble along the way, keep in mind that your Wrangler comes with 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week roadside assistance. It's only a phone call away. For more information about roadside assistance, refer to the Roadside Assistance Information Guide that's contained in your owner's manual packet or contact your dealer. And by all means, enjoy your Jeep Wrangler.